Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel, Odutola Capital. Today I'm going to be showing you my process on the stocks that I'm going to be trading on October 4th. That's going to be tomorrow, Monday. Today is Sunday. So first thing I do is go into the stock screener. I go into my stock screener and I'm going to go into the price. I like to trade stocks less than $50. And as you guys know, I'm a short bias trader. I tend to trade more on the short side. I'm looking for stocks that are volatile, so that's why I'm going to look for stocks that are trading with higher volume. So with the next thing I look for is going to be the current volume of greater than 2 million. So because of I need volatility, so I'm going to use a higher volume. So another thing I look at is going to be the average volume greater than 2 million. The next thing I'm going to do is look at the market cap. So I'm mostly looking for mid float stock, in some cases low float stock. So I'm going to be looking for market caps less than 10 billion. So the next thing I do is now look for the average true range. What is the average true range? This is how much the stock can move on a particular day. For me, the sweet spot is going to be $1. So if the stock is moving like 50 cents, it might work for you, but for me, $1 is the sweet spot in which I look for, because I want the stock to be volatile. So I go into the technicals here on Finviz. Then I now go into the average true range. I look for over $1. Now, with that said, the next thing I do is now look for how much is the stock gapping up. As you guys know, I said I'm a short bias trader, so I'm looking for stocks that were gapping down the day prior. So now I go into the gap. I now go into down. So we can see there's not that much stocks that were gapping down on the day prior. So I have less stocks to analyze today. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not great, because tomorrow, what about if there's no stocks gapping down before the market opens? That's also another thing I look for. So let's go down this list. ABCL is a biotech stock. So some stocks that I don't trade. Now the reason why I don't trade them is because over time the price action is just weird and it's just very difficult for me to analyze. ABCL is going to be one of them, which is a biotech stock. So there are two biotech stocks here. Energy stocks, I don't trade them also. And Bitcoin stocks, I don't see any Bitcoin stocks here. So what I like to do is go into my custom. So on the custom, I like to look for floats less than 500 million. What does that mean? So I'm looking for low floats to mid float stocks. So as you can see, there's not that much low float stocks on this list. So there's mostly mid float stocks. Low floats to me is less than 30 million floats. For me, for some people they do 20 million, but for me I like to do the 30 million for my low float stocks. So I have my notepad, which I begin to document which stocks look good and which stocks I'm going to take out. So the first one I have on this list that I do see is going to be ATUS. So I already have it on here anyway. So ATUS, I have it. Then we're going to go further into analyzing a little bit. So AUPH is a biotech stock. BBIG. The reason why I'm not going to trade BBIG is over the past couple of weeks, I've been analyzing BBIG. It moves. It can move, but look at the average volume is 48. So what does that mean? The average volume is 48 million, and the volume for the day is 15 million. So if the average volume is very high and the daily volume, like on last day, is low, that means a lot of people are really not watching this stock compared to what the average volume should be. So that's why I'm just not going to even touch it. It tends to trade choppy only if there is particular news in this stock. Now DVAX is a biotech stock. I'm not going to touch it. IRNT, I can have that on my list. IRNT. So IRNT, I have that. Then we're going to look deeper into what these stocks, their fundamentals of these stocks. Basic material, I'm not going to touch it. MTTR rather. is also another stock that I'm going to take a look at. So MTTR. Okay, the next one will be RKLB. Okay, the reason why I really don't like RKLB is because in my platform, maybe your platform is different, I usually don't have enough shares to short for this particular stock, so sometimes I just don't like to touch it. So RRC is going to be an energy stock. SPCE, I do like SPCE. I've traded it in the past, so SPCE will be another stock I'm looking for. So let's analyze this stock individually and see what I'm also looking for. So I'll go to ATUS. The first thing I like to see is on the chart. I want to see a sell-off. Look at this right here. Let me get my pen out to show you. I have a lot of pop-ups on these Finvies. I have the free account. So look at the sell-off right here. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a sell-off for anticipation of it to continue to sell down, for the sell-off to continue, and in some cases it might go up. So basically, you know, it's all speculation. We don't know what direction the market is going to go, but just because of trader psychology, we know that when people begin to see it selling off, maybe they want to sell off their stock. So that's the reason why. It's not that I know for sure 100% that it's going to sell off, but this is just more for anticipation that the stock might sell off. So ATUS, I do like it on the chart. The next thing I'd like to look at for this particular stock is going to be the average true range, which I already analyzed. The average true range is greater than 1, which is great. I like to see the float. Float is within the range I'm looking for. The institutional ownership is 60%. The average volume, this is what I like to document. I like to document what the average volume is. For this is going to be 5.5 million. Now the reason why I like to document the average volume, if this stock is not trading that much volume during the day, then I'm just going to take it off my list. So I like to document 5.5 million is the average volume, and the institutional ownership, I like to look at that. If the institutional ownership is too high, I might not be involved in that stock, just because a lot of institutions are going to be trading the stocks. I can't compete with that. So I like to look at these two variables, the institutional ownership and the average volume. Now the reason why I look at average volume is, if for instance ATUS tomorrow is trading, maybe for simplicity sake, if ATUS is trading maybe 100k volume, let's say the whole day, I'm not going to be involved in this stock because there's not going to be enough people trading this particular stock. So I'm just going to stay away from it. So even though I have it on my list, it's not a guarantee that I'm going to trade this stock. So ATUS, I like to also look at the news. Is there any particular news? I see ATUS stock falls after downgrade, so maybe the news is based on the downgrade. So all this fall that has been going through this stock is because of it looks like the downgrade on the particular stock. Okay, so there's no significant news per se. So the next one I'm going to look at is going to be IRNT. IRNT is a technology stock. Okay, I don't have the float. The ATR on this particular stock is $5.03. Okay. Institutional ownership is 16%, so I like to document that. 16.8%. Does he have any news? Let's look at the chart also. You see this massive sell-off, this gap down. So these are the kind of stocks I like to look at. But the problem with IRNT, when the market opens, does he have enough shares to short? So I'm going to document that, shares to short. Okay, so I have IRNT. Does he have any news per se? I don't see any news. It just says named advanced persistent threat solution provider, cybersecurity, something. I don't even understand what that news is. So I'll just have it on here, but I'm going to watch it when the market opens to see if there's enough shares to short. The next one is going to be MTTR. So we'll go to MTTR. You see this downtrend, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, there's a possibility that it's going to continue to sell off. There's a possibility it's going to bounce. So these are the kind of patterns I'm looking for. So this stock, because it has major sell-off from the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, it might bounce, but I'm still going to just have it on my list just to see what's going to happen if it's going to continue to sell off, because you never know. So on this right here, I'm going to have my institutional ownership is 1.3%. I like the average volume 2.68. Okay, IRNT, I didn't have the average volume. I think it was, let's take a look at that real quick. IRNT, the average volume is 4.5 million. So I'm going to document that. IRNT 4.5 million. Then MTTR 2.68 million. Okay, is there any news on that? Let's see. So it says it expands coverage to capture services on demand. I don't know what this news is, but okay. The next one we're going to look at is RKLB. RKLB, I'm not even going to analyze it too much, because most of the time there's no shares to short on this particular stock. As you can see, look at this, it's actually moving on the upside. So I'm just going to take it off. I'm going to take RKLB off, and let's take a look at SPCE. SPCE average volume is kind of high, so I will monitor this very closely because the average volume kind of high. So if there's not enough, even if it's 1 million volume trading tomorrow, it might be enough relative volume for this particular stock. That means a lot of people are not really watching it, but I'm going to keep it on watch. ATR is 1.66. Institutional ownership looks like it's 26%. Then let's take a look at the news. Okay, so Cathy Wood is dumping these 15 stocks. So she's selling off. Let's see, she's selling off her stocks for SPY. For SPCE, yeah, it looks like she might be selling. She's I think the owner of ARK Investment. Okay, so maybe that's why that was a big sell-off on this particular stock. And I think she had major shares in this particular stock. So let's look at the chart. Okay, look at this sell-off. This little sell-off here, but look at this, it's trading in this range, which I really don't like, but I will just have it down on my list. This is the area where I like to trade this particular stock, like this. I believe I traded it like this, and this area, this is when I like. But when it's trading this range, it's very difficult because it has like just a choppy price action. So we're just gonna have that on there. So SPCE. So the stocks I do have for tomorrow, It's going to be ATUS, IRNT, MTTR, and SPCE. So those are the stocks that I'm going to have on watch. I'm going to be watching them. Some of them might move, some of them might not move, but I'm going to be watching them to trade them for tomorrow on the short side. Also, I've started going long also, so I might even go long on a few of them. So with that said, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Odutola Capital. Thank you and have a wonderful day.